There comes a moment in life when you awaken and realize that something is missing. You feel it not with your mind, but with your soul. The colors of the world seem dimmed, laughter echoes without warmth, and what once brought you delight now feels hollow. You sit among friends, yet your heart does not stir. You achieve what you once dreamed of, yet it tastes of ash. It is in this barren silence that you whisper to yourself, "My joy is gone." This moment, though heavy with despair, is not your end, but your threshold. For the psyche speaks in symbols, and the absence of joy is one of its most profound messages. When joy departs, it is not because life has conspired against you, but because your soul is summoning you to a deeper truth. To lose joy is to discover that the old ways of being, the old sources of satisfaction, have expired. What gave life meaning yesterday cannot sustain the self of today. Joy flees because you have grown beyond it. But to feel this absence is agony. You may try to chase what once made you whole. You return to old habits, old pleasures, old dreams, but they no longer sing to you. You cling to relationships that have already dissolved within, jobs that suffocate you, identities that no longer fit, and still, joy does not return. You feel betrayed by life itself. Yet here lies the paradox. The departure of joy is not a curse but a sacred signal. It is your soul refusing to let you remain in a life that is too small for who you are becoming. If you listen, you will hear the first keynote. The disappearance of joy is not punishment, it is invitation. The unconscious, which speaks in silence and longing, withdraws joy so that you are forced to seek a new path. This withdrawal compels you into the unknown. It is the same force that pulls the seed into darkness before it can grow into a tree. In your loneliness, your weariness, your hollow laughter, the psyche is saying, "Do not stay where you are." Something greater awaits you, yet the mind resists. The ego longs for the familiar, even if it no longer brings happiness. We cling to comfort zones not because they nourish us, but because they feel safe. But when joy departs, safety itself becomes unbearable. You cannot pretend forever, the mask grows heavy. And here we meet the second keynote. Joy leaves us when we have betrayed our own authenticity. Somewhere, somehow, we silence the voice of the soul. We chose approval over truth, routine over passion, control over freedom. Joy is the light of authenticity, and when we betray it, that light extinguishes. Many live in this state for years, even decades. They convince themselves that life is supposed to be gray, that adulthood means resignation, that happiness is for children. But this is not life, it is mere survival. The truth is, joy is not a luxury. Joy is the vital sign of the soul. It tells you when you are aligned with your inner essence. And if it is gone, it is because you are no longer aligned. To find your way back, you must be willing to turn inward. This is the third keynote. The recovery of joy requires confrontation with the shadow. Your joy is not gone forever. It is hidden beneath the layers of denial, fear, and wounds you have refused to face. Each unacknowledged part of you, each suppressed desire, each silenced truth, has taken with it a fragment of your joy. If you would reclaim it, you must be courageous enough to descend into yourself and retrieve what was lost. This descent is not easy. You will meet pain you thought you escaped. You will feel anger, grief, and longing that you buried long ago. But understand, the shadow does not destroy you. The shadow holds the pieces of yourself that were cast away when you tried to be acceptable in the eyes of others. Within it lies not only your darkness, but also your vitality, your creativity, your forgotten dreams. Joy is waiting in the very place you fear to enter. It is only when you cease to run from your own depths that you begin to feel alive again. You realize that your joy was never destroyed, it was exiled. You had abandoned it in order to play roles, to live by others' expectations, to wear masks of strength or politeness. But beneath those masks, joy never died. It waited. And when you dare to reclaim those abandoned parts of yourself, you discover that joy is not merely the thrill of pleasure. True joy is the state of being whole. Here lies the fourth keynote. Joy returns when you begin to live a life of meaning, not merely a life of comfort. Comfort dulls, but meaning ignites. Comfort feeds the body, but meaning feeds the soul. You may lose people, titles, and possessions when you choose meaning, but what you gain is the return of your soul's radiance. Joy cannot be bought, nor manufactured, nor forced. It arises naturally when you are aligned with what gives your life depth and purpose. You may ask, but where do I find this meaning? The answer lies in what calls to you even in silence. Pay attention to the activities that make you forget time, the subjects that stir your curiosity, the causes that awaken your compassion, the moments when your heart feels most alive. These are not accidents. They are the compass of your soul. Your joy has not vanished, is guiding you toward these very things. What feels like loss is, in truth, redirection. And finally, the fifth keynote, to reclaim joy is to embrace transformation. You cannot return to who you were. That self is already behind you. The absence of joy is the death of the old self, and like all deaths, it is painful. But from this death, a new self is born, a self closer to your essence, freer, deeper, more authentic. Joy is not a temporary spark. It is the glow of a life lived in alignment with this true self. To resist this transformation is to prolong your suffering. To embrace it is to discover that joy is not gone, it is waiting on the other side of change. Understand this: the soul does not abandon you. Joy may seem absent, but its silence is only the hand of your deeper self, guiding you toward growth. Every moment of emptiness, every tear, every hollow smile is part of this sacred process. You are being stripped of illusions, of false attachments, of borrowed dreams. What remains will be the essence of who you are, and within that essence, joy shines eternal. So when you feel that your joy is gone, do not despair. Do not chase distractions or numb yourself with noise. Sit with the silence. Listen to what it asks of you. Ask yourself, where have I betrayed myself? What truth have I silenced? What meaning have I ignored? Then summon the courage to follow where those answers lead. You will find that joy was never outside you. It was not in the world's applause, nor in possessions, nor even in relationships. It was always the echo of your own soul when you live in truth. And though it may have hidden itself for a season, it will return when you are ready to meet yourself again. Therefore, walk through your emptiness with courage. Trust that the departure of joy is not your end, but your initiation. On the other side of this darkness lies a radiance more profound than any fleeting happiness. For joy is not a passing mood, it is the song of the soul, and the soul cannot be silenced forever. Your joy is not gone. It is waiting for you within you, calling you to become who you truly are.